Peace, peace, peace. Greetings, message. Whew, how y'all doing? Y'all get some of that sun. Make sure y'all get some of that sun today. Okay, message. Speak through me, give gratitude to Source, Prime, Sauce, ancestors known and unknown. Those that would be guided to this video, wish you bliss, clarity, prosperity. You are the light in your darkness, awareness, just everything to do with the divine. Okay. I had a moment. This is very intense now, especially these transit and these shifts that's happening just everywhere, individually and collectively. Whatever you do, stay heart-centered. But honor your emotions. This is one thing that I've learned here is this. Honor whatever you're feeling, man. Feel. There was someone who shared something. They said, how do our women, and I'm gonna really speak about this is gonna really get into depth about how do our women learn to embrace their femininity or to honor their femininity. For one, I get it. A lot of our women do not know how, when, where, whatever you want to say, because they were never shown. This is why I tell you, never be hard on yourself or beat yourself up over your journey and your path, because it's just like the process of, I always speak about the butterfly, the caterpillar, but also the process of creation. Nothing just happened overnight. Nothing just happens like that. But that doesn't mean that there isn't a process to surrender and honor. The feminine principle, or when we're talking about the divine feminine, it's everything to do with the void, the nothingness, the surrendering to the water. It's like emotion. I see it as emotion, like E-M in ocean. The deeper you go, the mystical it gets. The deeper you go, the darker it gets. A lot of us now, I express to you by mother being the first teacher, we're now learning that aspect of what it is due to the fact of being in the patriarchal as a bus comes by, and seeing the importance now in how suppressed emotions have been, being in this place of what they call the Americas, this land, or just everywhere around the globe. Everyone has been affected by the patriarchal system, or in some essence have been affected, and then it has affected everyone, has a ripple effect on everyone. I'm seeing that mirror back in the mother and women in my family. I'm seeing now, it's like a cry out, and see, I noticed this as I've learned through the feminine aspects of myself, which is the mothers. And so I realized that my greatest teacher was the feminine principles. I had to learn, and it's almost like, let these buses go by. I had to learn, my greatest teachers were through women, because in essence, they are a feminine principle of me. And so what I'm expressing is that which is expression are emotions. Suppression leads to expression. Things that what is ignored will fight someday to be acknowledged. Meaning people, places, just anything in general, what is ignored will fight to be acknowledged. So, for instance, have you ignored your calling? Have you ignored your purpose here? Have you been ignoring your feelings? Have you been ignoring like, you know, what you're called here to do? Have you been ignoring your spiritual gifts? Have you been ignoring the beauty of what's within you? And so I realized within myself is that how past is future is that for the pain and the things that I've experienced in my past, a lot of which I experienced through the darkness, the feminine aspects of who I am. This is how I learned how to accept the waters, embrace the waters, the ever-changing feminine waters. When you look at nature, nothing is the same when the sun rises and when the sun sets. When water runs through the different crevices or, creases of the rocks, the rock is never the same. When, the bird flies this way or the tree through the seasons and through the cycles, nothing is ever the same. You're not ever the same. We're not ever the same. So how much sense does it make for people to actually be the same? This is what's driving people insane. Or they're losing their mind, or it's not even just that they're just the lack of awareness of the connection to source or to spirit. And see, all of this, let me express to you, all of this everything is so divinely orchestrated. From people experiencing the pain and hardship and so many things, dealing with the patriarchal, the father complex, even the Piscean age. Everyone dealing with certain things now, being in an Aquarian age. Because now you're seeing more people through the destruction, through the pain and suffering. The Aquarius is more the humanitarian, the helper, the innovator, learning to be more innovative and creative during these moments where you alchemize and you learn these things about yourself that you had no knowledge of. And see, that's what the feminine is. It's ever changing, it's ever flowing. So imagine women being in a place where they don't feel secure or safe. They don't feel that their emotions are honored. They don't feel embraced by men, by, the father, or by, the neglecting of themselves. So in this world, they don't know what is what, who is who. They don't have knowledge of the unknown. They don't know what it is to embrace the princess in them, the little girl in them. And so it's difficult for a lot of, again, women, mothers, daughters to accept their role in this world. Especially the ancient melanated woman of the Americas. The dark woman, especially when she's been demonized and devalued in every way. And then that, again, through the different wombs of women, from your grandmother to your grandmother, then your mother comes, and then she has a daughter, then that daughter is a mother because she has her eggs already that she'll ever have. And so this is generationally been passed through. And so that mother, that daughter has a son. Again, he inherited those same feminine traits. And what comes with those feminine traits are the emotions. And this is one thing I had to learn. I had to face. I had to embrace. I had to accept. Not also what, the importance of the father aspect, the masculine principle, but also the emotions that guided me to this very moment. I had to acknowledge the emotional abandonment and neglect that my mother the mother I came through didn't offer or didn't, supply to not only me, but now I'm seeing it mirrored in the sisters that I have. Because you can see, again, when you look at your family dynamics, you can see the abuse of alcoholism or drugs, or the abuse of even the food intake. You can see the abuse, the overly active way of doing things, because there is no awareness of the inner security, the inner value. Even people that are overly sexually like active in their in sex and certain things, and a lot of that can stem from a mother not being there, or something happened to someone, when they were touched on or raped. And again, a lot of us not realizing that when you have a child, or when you have a star seed, and when you bring these children into this world, that's a part of your contract. That's a part of your spiritual contract, to where it's on you to, you cannot ignore this. My purpose is to speak these things because I cannot ignore that what I see, I was the one chosen. I was the one given this version, this lens to see the little girls in the mother I came through, the little girls that is in the sisters and the women, and then even the little boys that again don't know what it is to honor their emotions. And somehow, some way, I'm automatically can see how prideful or how aggressive they are, and the anger, and they're looking for acceptance, love, most importantly, love. So it's the accountability within ourselves, and that's why emotions are so vital. It's because if you really look at the dynamics of all of this, what makes it can seem to some as a blessing and a curse, because certain things were carried on and it can seem like a curse, but at the same moment, it's a blessing until you acknowledge that. It's like I tell someone, you are the curse until you acknowledge that you are the gift. How do you know what's inside of that package if you don't reach inside and open it and realize, like, wow, I had to open this. I had to open up. I had to really see what's in there. You had to really open yourself up. You're the gift. You're the present. You have to open yourself up and see what's inside, that people in your lineages, not everyone, but ignored. You had to reach deep inside of yourself and see the things that can no longer be ignored. And see, this is where the blessings, this is where the spiritual currency, this is where you realize that spiritual gifts that have been passed through your lineages. You realize why you as a mother had to have a son, which is a masculine aspect of yourself, so that you could learn what it is to heal not only the masculine aspect of yourself and see how it's been wounded, but also to see the importance of healing that aspect of the patriarchal. That's what the son, some of you have sons for. It's for your son to illuminate the darkness and the neglect and the wounded masculine within yourself. Because this is why you will see the connect to the patriarch and what and how you've experienced certain things with your father, whether he was there or not. See the importance of that. And then see the importance of what you experience with men as well. Them being a reflection of the patriarchal, the father, the masculine principles. For you to, what are you accepting or neglecting about that for yourself? As to with men, you're attracting and these aspects of women. With myself, I had to attract these women. I had to see the dark and the malicious, the wicked, or what I perceived as like, the painful aspects of myself through the women in my family. Not all, but at the same time, there was that polarity to the light, to where there were women that came in, again, being where I was emotionally and where I was within myself. They came to show me the importance of security, spiritual security. And that has everything to do with the feminine principle. Because I see that now it came full circle. So men, you're wondering why, I get it. I was the past try to be a part of like, oh yeah, let me go out here and pluck every woman I see, or oh, she's beautiful, let me da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? When really in spirit I had nothing to offer. Because my focus was just so more physical. And in that whole dynamic, I attracted aspects of myself, but also I realized that these women had nothing to offer but that. And then even trying to offer that, there is no value. She don't see the value in herself. Because when you start to learn that value, and this is why you see casual sex or this stuff, a lot of stuff is a part of the old paradigm, because we're not coming from a lower place anymore, that lower vibrating place. We're elevating here. We're here with it. What are we building? What legacy are we going to continue? This is about coming into the partnership aspect, which is the spiritual and the physical, which is the holistic way of knowing that we're whole. So this is why, again, some of us that are on your spiritual journey, you're going to realize that a part of you bringing higher awareness and consciousness, to your lineages has everything for you. It has everything to do with you facing everything that the family and people wanted to fear. And a part of you acknowledging those spirits, and a part of you acknowledging and facing those things and having to go through all your emotions to get to where you are, you're going to see that in that process, there is no identity in your healing journey or in your journey. There is no identity. You won't even probably comprehend with what people have been calling you this whole career. There is no identity as far as your career and what you're doing. And don't get tricked. Don't let these people trick you out of your spot. This social media, a lot of this stuff a lot of us can see through that. We can see through the illusion. This is a part of the awakening. We can see through the bull, the BS, this bullshit. We can see through it. And so, and most people will try to clown you, or you'll see why a lot of people don't resonate with you no more as you grow and as you elevate. Because they don't know what it is. That's not their mission here. It's your mission as a mother. It's not just you as a mother. When you start to get in tune with self, you're going to see the aspect, you're going to learn aspects of yourself, how we're all connected. And see, this is what how generationally we're connected, and spiritually, and from a soul aspect. Is when you're seeing that what you do is going to have an effect on everyone, a ripple effect. It is not going to come overnight. It's a process. That's the beauty of this. I too like to have fun and enjoy myself. I'm not going to get all caught up in everything is spiritual, You're still supposed to enjoy life. Fathers, mothers, you're still the little boy and girl. You're still supposed to enjoy life. You look at kids, they don't have no concern about, I was expressing this to someone. When a child is birthed, notice that whatever the programming and condition that the parent has went through, or the guardian, they're going to project, depending on if they're secure within themselves, they're going to project their fears onto that child, unconsciously and consciously, until they become aware. This is why some of you notice that what has been happening in your lineages stops with you, because now you're more consciously aware. Like, this isn't life. This isn't living. And so now that aspect, you're going to want to connect with people who are on this level or this awareness. And that's mostly going to happen through the heart. Because you got to get this. Most people are still going to be here. Even if they're going to watch you elevate, women and men, they're going to watch you elevate, brothers and sisters. But at the same moment, some of you are going to naturally pick up on, you're not going to want to be seen as sexual. It's going to be more sensual. It's going to be more, from a spiritual aspect. It's like you see when you do the inner work and you do the, you go within yourself and then you start to peel back those layers, you start to dive deeper into the darkness, you realize like, wow, I am really the shit. I'm beautiful. I'm amazing. And no one can, it's not on you, it's in you. No one can take that from you. No one can do what you're doing. And so I ask you, isn't that important? Isn't that something you want to your kids to know, your starseed? That's why they come here. A lot of them come here because they're vibrating at a higher frequency. They're at a higher frequency, so it may seem like, oh, they're not old or old soul. They're like ancient in a way. They like have this frequency that again came here to bring forth higher elevation, for you to elevate higher mentally, spiritually, and physically. For them to they teach you. You got to see how the world has been in reverse, and people have been in these loops and in this whole illusion in this spell and shit. Like, bro, no, you are here to do something different. You are here now to use your gifts, your spiritual gifts. It amazes me how people read these books with all this other stuff, but notice the mysticism, the metaphysics, and all these things, the science, and of all this, that has everything to do with spiritual. Mathematics, sacred geometry. Like, that's the beauty of it. They come to bring awareness, to elevate. When things are dismantled and destroyed, some of us are here. We carry that blueprint to bring something new. The advancement in the heart. And see, that having that open heart is going to show you how to bring forth love and let your light be illuminated in these dark moments. Because what? Light can only exist in the darkness. Hello? So this is why some of it, again, you had to manifest that. I wouldn't. The thing is about it so beautiful is that I would have never saw the importance of the feminine had I not experienced thinking that, oh, I can just go lay down with all these women and there be no consequences. Or I can go do these things and there be no consequences, or no what you put out comes back. Like, that's natural law. That's universal law. So, but that's the beauty of it now. I had to acknowledge that. Because I know within myself, and then the seeds that I have is that they will have this knowledge, or they will have this wisdom, and it will be passed on. They will know the value of loving themselves, embracing themselves, higher levels of being. That's the beauty of this. Everyone's not supposed to get this. They can call it what they want. Again, what is this all about? When kids arrive here, they don't know nothing about religion. They don't know nothing about none of this shit. We all were somehow affected, conditioned, and programmed. Kudos to those who played a part in that. But at the same time, this is something new now. This is an advancement through the heart, through love, through acceptance, through the creative forces, through we are the powers that be now, the light. We've always been. That's why you've had an effect some way, somehow. And if you have an effect and you know that you carry this aura, this light, what do you think your kids do? Let's not ignore that. Why do you think your kids don't want to be in these schools? Why do you think they don't want to be a part of nothing here? Because they came here to resist this. They came here not to be a part of this. I don't want to be a part of none of this shit. None of this corruption, because I know it's corrupted. Because my spirit, that's the spirit of discernment. If people, what do you think the awakening is all about? Well, I mean, you're not the only one. I don't care to be a part of drama and low vibrational stuff because it just don't resonate with me. I have to have patience, but I still have to realize that you can't run from it. well, like, this is the beauty of it. But at the same moment, I just come to let y'all know, like, look, a lot of which is happening. This Aquarian age is for the greater good of all. It's very few that, again, that carries the essence of this new way of being and creating this new world. They can call it, people can call it what they want to. We all came here for security. This is what the princess is all about. Everything has had its purpose. Everything serves its purpose. And that's the beauty of all this. And I have to listen. I have to get these messages out. I ain't doing this for you, man. What? It's bigger than me. This is truly bigger than me. You know, you have to ask yourself, do you want a life that's, you know, when you're secure within yourself, I'm not concerned about nothing outside of me harming me. Because I'm at a frequency and vibration that whatever's in my heart and love, I had the power to people that want to come and whatever it is, I'll be able to see it, or I'll be able to pick up on it, or I'll just be able to, the love is, the light so bright, it's just, they can't help but be affected by it or run from it. Or bow to it, or, you know, whatever, surrender to the light. That's the power you have to know you have within yourself, is that wherever you go, your presence is needed. Wherever you go, your light is a guide for some people, whether they want to speak or say anything. In some way, shape, or form, you're going to have an effect or touch people in ways that you don't even have to say a word. It's just who you are. That's what you came here to do. So, again, a lot of you are spiritual teachers for the future. A lot of you are innovators and creators for the future. A lot of you are, like, coming into these leadership positions. A lot of us are coming into, we are the new everything for what's coming. And that's why you have to see the corruption in the past. As much as people want to fight against it, say, oh, guess what? You should know, again, you're so secure within yourself that guess what? What's the worst can people do? Because you're going to realize a lot of what people that are attached emotionally or, you know, physically to a lot of stuff, their fear is rooted in death. Or their fear is in stuff that they refuse to let go. That's what their suffering is coming from. Seeing people fight over people, relationships, you know, material stuff, money, all that stuff. You're going to realize as you elevate, like, it's like a movie. Like, I be sitting back like, you care so much about what somebody think about you? I too went through that, but at the same moment, it was just something greater within me that I was like, I never really cared for this. I never really cared for stuff like other people did. It's so much better when you just sit back and observe and slow down. Where y'all going? I be seeing people in the store and shit. I be like, where y'all going so fast? On the road, where y'all going? I'm gonna tell you a lot of stuff where I had to learn patience. It was meant for me to be on, even have a bike in this moment. You know why? Because I can go where I want to. The places I do go to, I'm able to, you know, stay active, you know, I'm doing things that, again, connects me to my essence, to my childhood. I'm skating, I'm painting, and that's a part of, like, when people feel like I should be doing something else, you're going to realize that as you reconnect with your essence and your light and the things that was so much, that caused you so much pain, it's going to, the gain in that aspect is that you seeing, like, had you not went through this connection with this person, then how would you have known to illuminate and share with this you know, whoever you attract or these people that come into your life? Speak about what you're going through. Have that courage. Some of our ancestors didn't get to speak. Some of our ancestors didn't get, you know, people that they didn't get to do certain things. I see the importance in resting now. Pacing myself. I'm at my own pace. I tell people all the time, so many people don't even notice their own heartbeat. Like you sit and breathe. They don't even know their own heartbeat. And see, that's the rhythm you go. That's my, like, you have your own drum beat. Boom, 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 boom. Learn to go at your own pace. Then you will realize that a lot of these people are going to realize they're suffering to the idea of what their kids should be, how they should be. You're only causing yourself suffering. And I realized that I had to let go of certain things because it was only causing me emotional blockages. It was causing me, just hardships or whatever you want to call it. And when I let go and just accept it, I was like, wow. People have their purpose to whether choose to walk away. That was their free will. People have their choice to decide if they wanted to help. People have their choice. They have their own free will to do whatever it is. And what I do, the growth in that is how I responded. If they didn't help, guess what? I had to go do something. If they didn't want to do this, guess what? I had to go do something. That doesn't mean someone else wouldn't help, wouldn't want to help. A lot of things I had to realize, like, was my heart closed off? Was my mind closed off to the idea? Is it meant for me to be with myself in these moments? Is it meant for me to sit back and observe so I can see who's really who? Then even seeing who they really are, they're never going to be the same. And see, that's what the feminine aspect of who we all are, both masculine and feminine, is showing us. Whatever is going on inwardly with them is going to be expressed in the masculine principle through their actions. That's an internal battle within people. You're going to see that. And whether they're at peace, whether they're chaotic, whatever it is, will show you how to either react or respond. And see, a lot of us are at that place where we're so secure that we can either we choose to respond, we choose to observe, and then sometimes that will even, by you not responding or giving people what they want, is you owning your own power, your own truth, and they respond, they react. Or sometimes it can be role reversal. You have to see yourself, and at the same moment, you are the creator of your own reality. And you're having this experience as a spiritual being. So that's the beauty in it. Look at, like, mothers, especially women, like, look at how, start to study creation. How a man comes together with you. And then you're seeing how we come here. Then you see the different cycles. How we come. Start studying that. The beauty of, and see, I can see the suffering and attachment to the pain that you've been through with men. But now Spirit is sitting you down so you can acknowledge, like, what is your role in this? When you're sitting with yourself and you see creation, as I talk about, I hear the little kids. Oh. Okay. You see? Signs. They have no care in the world. They're not worried about what someone looks like. They're not concerned about none of that. Because in essence, who they truly are is love. And when y'all really start to get to this shit and start to, like, grasp it, you'll realize that the essence of who you are, not all of y'all, because some of y'all just, yeah. But anywho, you will see that as you elevate, you don't want to be around certain things because in essence, it's the love that's within you that you're so desperately seeking. Whether it be through material things, people, you gotta start to see yourself as, like, what is this teaching me about me? Bring it back to you. I used to always be like, this person did, but I brought it back to me, and I'm like, yo, wow. Again, hearing those kids, that brings me so much joy. It reminds me to just go through life and, should I really care? Because if you tell a child no, they just know yes. Until, again, what? They're programmed. Y'all gonna see how you're gonna learn to have compassion. I had to learn to have the compassion for people because I realized a lot of these people are conditioned and programmed. And then they don't know how to express their emotions. They don't know what it is to love themselves. And people go through so many things, man, they just give up. But it's not on you. For you that will see this video, you got the free will. You inspire someone. You will inspire someone. But I'm letting you know that now is not the moment. Because someone's always watching you. The world needs more love, man. The world needs more love. And the only way you're going to find that love is within yourself. That's what the Creator, that's what Prime shows us, is that emotions, those suppressed emotions you're learning about yourself, are a portal or a gateway to why you express yourself the way you do. And that's why you see why the importance of how children are, like the first couple of years, is so vital, because they're still connected to spirit. They're still connected to something higher. And we have to see our part. You don't have to, but it's important to acknowledge your role in how you played in your kid's life. You can decide to change that. Some people will apologize, some people won't. But they got to do it for themselves first. You got to learn what it is to love yourself and not pour. A lot of us are learning what it is to pour into ourselves now. Being selfish, but in a way, it's like being selfless. We can give, but it's a balance with everything. It's being neutral in everything. Like, I'm giving y'all this video at the same moment. Now I got to go rest because everything is energy. But at the same moment, I'm still, we need this love and empowerment in these days. You will realize, like, your role as we acknowledge why certain things have to happen, and then seeing the bigger picture. Not all will, but it's the beauty of it. Start seeing yourself. Our women will begin to see themselves as the flowers. Like, you had to be planted by places where, look at where flowers grow. Flowers grow in some of the most rural areas. Flowers grow everywhere. Even to my men, you are the trees that protect the flowers. You are, you are that shade. Sometimes when the storm comes through, we need women. You may need that. You're going to see in these coming days, you're going to need that tree for protection. But we come from the same soil. We get the same rain. We experience the same storms. It may not have as an effect as we feel we should, but I had to realize that I am delicate, and that's what the feminine showed me, is that I am precious, I am divine, I am loved. I've always been loved by Mama Oracle, by Source. I've always been loved and received. That's what my experiences here shown me as a masculine, as a man. But it also showed me that I'm not separate from the woman, because when you look at the woman, again, where our minds begin, is that I realized that a part of me being here, and then me coming into the physical, and then where I was birthed, and then what I experienced, I don't blame my mother. That's one thing I really had to accept. I don't blame the women in my family. Because it does nothing. It does nothing to point the finger. It does nothing, because it's easy to do that. It's easy to, when you hear people talk about other people, when you see this world so prone and so trauma-driven of violence, so driven, it's like adrenaline for them to see people in pain. Y'all don't see this shit? How do you call that? Isn't that, it's so easy for y'all to see people thrown in places and treated like, what? It ain't even, animals get better treatment than some people in America. And you wonder why people want to get the fuck away from here. This don't resonate for a lot of people no more. Because a lot of their karma and pain or whatever they experience have been in these places. And so a lot of us we don't resonate with this no more. Some of us here, we've acknowledged and accepted stuff we did in the inner work. It's like, bro, we just so patient right now. Like, can we just win something? Or, get this money or go somewhere where we don't have to live our money. Go somewhere we can grow our own shit. Go somewhere we can live a life of abundance and harmony and peace. That's what a lot of us want this lifetime. It ain't even about the money. To a lot of mothers I know, it ain't even about the money and shit. It's about the freedom. It's about the peace. It's about just simply being, where you can just be yourself. Y'all don't see, bro, you been in a place where you can't even be yourself. It's scrutinized. You're demonized for just speaking your truth. Just by speaking. Just by speaking. But let me go out there and do something that the world or people have been programmed to think that I just simply here to do and just, be destructive? No, that was never my nature. Because when I look at nature, it does, don't get it. Now, nature has its purpose. It does. It can be chaotic. And see, that's what I've honored. Is that the chaos, the destruction, and also the creation from that. But some of us we're delicate. We know that we're precious. And it's like, you get to that place where you just simply just want to be. And so we don't want to be around a lot of stuff no more. So that's just what it is, man. I know to a lot of our men, a lot of people are tired, man. People are mentally drained, physically, mentally. And see, this is the part of how the patriarchal, the discipline and all this up to the matriarchal now, the beginning of the matriarchal restoring, you have to see the pain, the agony, the suffering before something can be rebuilt. You have to see that. Why? Y'all don't see that. That's why you see the social media and all this stuff is behind here. It's like, oh, nothing's going on, but hi. Oh, yeah, this is me. Bullshit. Stop it. Stop it. Y'all not fooling nobody. The veil is thin, boo-boo. Like, it just is what it is. I ain't finna get on here and, bro, no. What is great about this place? Nature reminds me of that. Nature. I look at the trees and stuff, like, thank you, Spirit. Like, remain rooted. Remain, the beauty of it. This, you are a tree that carries good fruit. Y'all gotta realize that. Y'all been around people. Bro, how can y'all say that if it wasn't for you to change shit in your lineage, if it wasn't for you to acknowledge certain things, humanity has been in a dark place with rotten fruit, bro. Y'all don't even see how this has affected so many people, kids, and lineage. It's been people that's been rotten, spoiled. And it's affected so many people. It's corrupted so many people. Unrighteously. And now, here you are, trying to say your little message, like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to say none of y'all. It's going to resonate with who it resonate with. And it's from love. Some of y'all have the right. It's your birthright to be sovereign. It's your birthright to be loved. It's your birthright to help. It's your birthright to serve. It's your birthright to simply be at peace. I love you all, man. Let me get some more of this sun because it's beautiful out. Ooh. Ooh. I'm telling you, man. I'm ready to go see these kids walk by. I gotta get some of this while I'm out here. Peace and blessings, man. Shalom.